back to Glitter and Chaos. I'm your host, Caitlin Mead.
And I'm your other host, Kaylee Patton-Dieters.
We hope you enjoyed episode 3. And if you're just now joining us, this is episode 4. We're going to be touching on self-care today.
Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be one of my favorite episodes because there's so much that is involved in self-care.
Yes.
And even so much that I don't know if people really think of certain things as self-care.
So, or what they're doing is self-care.
Yes, that's a good point. Because it's self-care is a whole battery of different things. It's not just bubble baths and chocolate, although chocolate is amazing.
So are bubble baths.
For you. I like playing with bubbles, but maybe not so much in a bath.
Okay.
But
fair.
Anyway, it's more than just that. It's also like doing your daily thing, like daily tasks, like making sure that we've brushed our teeth, we've brushed our hair, we are taking care of our hygiene, we are making sure we're getting enough water, eating enough, taking care of our bodies. That is also self-care as well, making sure our bills are paid, going to necessary medical appointments that we need to go to, making sure our car is taken care of, or our primary mode of transportation, whatever that looks like for you. Making sure our pets are taken care of as well if you have pets. All of that is involved in self-care. It is so much more of a wider net than just maybe what you see online or on social media or things like that.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes too we tend to forget that, and we tend to forget Kaylee mentioned it in the last episode about putting the oxygen mask on yourself first and then putting it on the person next to you. Because I think sometimes we think, especially when you're in like relationships, or you're a parent, or you have people counting on you that, I have to take care of everybody around me and then I'll take care of myself.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually the reverse. You need to be taking care of yourself so that you can take care of the people around you.
Yes.
Because if we're not taking care of ourselves, then we don't have the energy to take care of the people around us. And we don't have the mental capacity to do so. Like I say that from personal experience, in the fact of, if I'm not taking care of myself, then I tend to be not as present for my family as I need to be, not present for my friends in the way that I need to be. And I tend to not be a very nice person. Like, I can be a little snappy, as in Kaylee likes to call it stabby. I can get a little stabby. And I tend to, at that point is when I tend to isolate. That's when I tend to avoid and do all the non-healthy things. And so today we really, especially with our last 2 episodes being pretty heavy, really wanted today's episode to be about, what do we do for self-care? And what are some ideas that people do for self-care? And I'd like to invite you, if you're on our Facebook and our Instagram page, to post what you do for self-care.
Yeah.
Get in that engagement with us. Let us know what are some things that you enjoy. I'd love to hear it. I mean, we would both love to hear it.
Yes.
I'd like to see what some of our listeners and viewers are doing to take care of themselves.
That would be fantastic. And it also gives us other ideas too. Like, that might have not been something I thought about even, looking at or trying, or, sometimes I like to try some new things to see if I'm interested in it or not. As long as it's not sports. I'm not very sports inclined. Very, very uncoordinated. But it's nice to hear all of the different options and opportunities that are out there sometimes, and some we don't even think about.
Right.
So, like, one of my favorite self-care items is music. I listen to music almost on the daily. And I have a very eclectic and wide-ranging playlists of all sorts of genres, and it just really depends on where my mood is and where my vibe is. Right now, mostly, it's heavy metal, but that doesn't usually mean that I'm angry or that I'm mad, even though people joke, why are you listening to the angry music? I'm like, I'm not angry, it just sounds great. I just love that music. But I also think it complements sometimes the chaos that I have in my head. So I've already disclosed, like, I've been diagnosed with ADHD. And so my brain is constantly busy. And so sometimes when I listen to heavy metal or hard rock music, all of those eclectic pieces within the music, like the bass, the drums, the guitar, the singing, the changing of the vocalizations, sometimes that makes my brain go quiet, and I'm able to sometimes regulate my focus a lot more. I'm able to regulate emotion and attention a lot more. But sometimes it's just really nice to just listen to it. And heavy metal makes me happy. It really does.
I mean, I can often hear her listening to it from my office, which is right next door. She talks about her brain needing to calm. So I have anxiety, and I do not sit still well. Not on an ADHD scale, but on I need to be doing things all the time because that's my way to control. And I don't relax well. I don't, unless you put a book in front of me, which I'm more intentional about right now. That is a self-care for me, is to read. But part of me, and this gets a little vulnerable and personal, is I feel guilty when I sit and I relax. And so part of my self-care to kind of quiet my brain and to be in a place to meet both needs, which is I'm doing something, but I'm also quieting my brain and kind of centering myself, is I like to work out. I like to go on walks. So using the treadmill or going outside and going on a walk, or even listening to music and cleaning my house, because that
dance parties,
that tends to kind of zen me out, help me get things in my home the way that I need them to be, not in a like nobody can touch my house kind of way, but a like I need to clean my house. I live with I have my husband and I have my son. And so I need my house to be clean at least once a week. And so one day, I just need one day for it to be clean. But no, I'm just kidding. To their credit, they do a very good job. So, but I think filling my brain, feeling good about that, getting my brain off of work, getting my brain off of the checklist of things that I have to get done. Because the thing that I'm recognizing, and I think the thing that we all need to recognize, is that checklist is always going to be there.
Yes.
It's ever evolving. But if you're living your life just on a checklist, what are you doing for fun?
Where's fun on the checklist?
Right. Because that should be on there.
And it doesn't have to be like, I have to carve out this amount of time for fun. You can have fun throughout the day. I call them micro breaks. For 5 minutes or even 2 or in 1 minute, if that's all you can spare, because some days our lives are just, pure chaos. It's like, for a minute, what can you do that brings you laughter or joy or happiness? What can you do in that moment? Is it watching a funny cat video? Because there is a plethora of those everywhere. Easy to Google. Is it looking at a picture of your family? Is it listening to your favorite song? Is it hearing a dad joke? We have a friend who's notorious with dad jokes, and they absolutely love them. And so it's something that brings them joy. And it doesn't have to be an hour long. It doesn't have to be a half hour. Even if you're just looking at it a minute at a time, you can find a minute in your day to do something that brings you joy.
Absolutely. And I think it's important too to recognize that all of us need that. And fun doesn't have to be expensive.
No.
Fun is not, hey, I need to go shopping for a day. I need to go do this big trip with my family. No, fun is those moments of, you know what, maybe I want to watch a funny cat video. Maybe I want to watch a funny reel. Maybe I want to step outside and just take a walk around the block. Before Kansas turns into sub-zero temperatures like it did last year.
Look at a cool rock.
Yeah. Maybe you.
There's so many cool rocks out there.
But I think, there are so many things that we can do. And again, like Kaylee said earlier, things that we don't consider self-care actually are.
Yes.
And can bring us that satisfaction and can bring us that joy. Call a friend. Text a friend.
Send a funny meme. Send a funny...
I was about to say that we are notorious for doing that.
Yeah. So this is the big war. Is it GIF or GIF?
I'm going to say GIF.
That's what I say.
I say GIF. Now, I have a problem in that she will send me all of these Instagram reels.
Yes.
And I don't check them.
No, it's a real big thing.
It's a real big thing. Like,
it's like, I'm thinking of you. This is funny. Look at this. Look at this. I thought of you. Look at this.
And it's like once a week I'll get in and I'll check them.
There's like 50.
And there's like 50. And I have to be, and I get the notifications. Like, I get them on my phone. That's like, Kaylee sent you an Instagram reel. And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to check that. And then another one will come through. Like, yeah, I need to check that. And then like, I'll just get on the weekend and I'm like, holy moly, I'm so overwhelmed. There's so many. But I need to do better about checking it because I laugh every time. And it's stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't have to be big things. No. It can just be little moments. Mm-hmm. But again, it comes back to you have to find those moments.
Yes.
And this is something that everyone has access to. I don't care who you are. Even if you don't have a phone, you can go outside. Mm-hmm. Like, you have access. Self-care is all around. Mm-hmm. And it's such an important aspect to living a healthy life. Mm-hmm. Because we know that chaos is everywhere. Mm-hmm. It absolutely is. Mm-hmm. But so is glitter.
Mm-hmm. The glimmers. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And it's about choosing to find it. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes we get so stagnant in wanting to wait for good things to happen.
Or waiting for the right moment or the right time. Or
right.
If I complete this, then I'll be able to do that.
Almost like it's a reward system. And self-care is not a reward.
No.
And I think that's one of the main things I want to hit on too, is I'm guilty of that, which is, well, if I complete all of my notes, if I complete all of my training or whatever, then I can go do this. Okay, well, maybe I have a big fun thing I want to do, and maybe that can be my motivation. But taking care of myself should not be a reward.
No.
Taking care of myself should be the priority.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because then that's what's going to motivate me to do the things that I need to do to function in my life.
Yes, absolutely. Or even taking breaks. So like if you have a larger item on your to-do list, or like, for example, cleaning your house. Obviously, there's multiple different things you can do with cleaning your house. So cleaning your house is the larger task, and you break it down into smaller tasks. So just kind of when you complete one smaller bit, you do something fun. You reward yourself in a way, but it's also taking care of yourself during it, because not everybody enjoys cleaning. It's not fun for everyone. For some people, they love it. That lights them up. That is something they truly love, and that's fantastic, and that is awesome. I'm so glad she loves that. Cleaning for me it's not that enjoyable, but if I put on some music to make me 10% more comfortable while I'm doing it, I can have an impromptu dance party while I'm cleaning, while I'm doing the dishes, or while I'm vacuuming, or while I'm doing something else, or I can sing out, while I'm doing it as well. Again, making myself 10% more comfortable to do the harder task, or the task that's maybe not as desirable as others. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's about finding what works for you.
Yes.
And it doesn't look the same for everybody. Mm-mm. And so for some, it's cleaning. For some, it's journaling. For some, it's drawing. For some, it's coloring. For some, it's listening to music. For some, it is the big things. If you can go do the big things and that's what you want to do, go do the big things.
Absolutely.
I feel like we just tend to forget that we are important. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about like we, but I'm talking about
royal we.
Like as individuals, as you as an individual.
Yes.
Me as an individual, Kaylee as an individual. Like when we look at our lives and we look at, I have to do this. Like as a mom, I have to make sure my child's taken care of and make sure dinner's on the table and make sure his homework's done and make sure blah, 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 blah. And as a wife, I have to make sure that all of these other things are taken care of, and that I'm being a good partner, and that I'm, attuned to my partner's needs and all of those things. Mm-hmm. But what about my needs? As an individual, my needs for myself, what am I doing to make sure that I can be present? Because one of the pitfalls that I fall into is I go to work, and as a therapist, we are very present for our clients.
Yes.
All day, every day. I'm very, very present for people. Where I tend to fall into this trap is I don't take care of myself even during the day. Like I need to be doing some self-care things in between sessions, and I tend to not do that. And then by the time I get home, I don't have much left to give my family. Mm-hmm. And so my family gets the version of me that is tired, that is grumpy, that is snappy, that did not wear her oxygen mask during the day. Mm-hmm. And by the time I get home, they get a version of me that's not always positive. And so and not that they expect me to be positive all the time. Like, that's not what I'm saying. It's not like self-care is going to magically make you just this positive person all the time.
No.
But I could do a better job of being more intentional during my workday about taking those micro breaks, whether that's walking outside for a minute, whether that is reading a chapter of a book, whether that is like actually taking my lunch break and breaking for lunch,
doing nothing
like that. I could be more intentional about that so that my family then gets the version of me that they need. That is mom, that is wife.
Yeah. And it's hard when, again, like we've talked about it, everything is jam-packed into one day. You only have so many hours in the day. And so we have to be very cognizant on what we're doing within those hours and those minutes and sometimes even seconds of how is this helping me? How is this helping my family? How is this helping my relationship? How is this helping me be a better person in this moment? Now, I'm not saying like this one thing is just going to miraculously change everything in that moment. But it's, again, I go back to that 10% because that's doable. That's realistic. Because we can't what would make me 50% more, comfortable? That may not be realistic or attainable in that moment. But usually you can change your situation just ever so slightly, or like pivot, if you will, in that moment to find something that makes you, even if it's not joy or happiness, just comfortable. How do I need to just take a drink of water? Is that going to be enough of a sensory experience to just make sure my body has water, which I struggle to do.
Same.
But then is it just, is that sensory experience of that cold water, going into your mouth, going down your throat, enough to just kind of revitalize you for that second, and then you
almost shock your system back to...
Yeah, somewhat, a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, because I struggle getting water in throughout the day, because it's like sometimes we're in that moment, and we want to make sure that we're attending to our client and making those micro decisions, throughout, to make sure that we're providing the best treatment and care that we can, that sometimes I just forget that I need water. I forget that I need water.
You forget you need water. I forget I need to eat.
I forget that too, especially if I get into a hyper focus mode.
Yeah.
If I have a new thing that I'm learning and or I don't want to say problem, but sometimes a problem that I need to figure out and fix. There is nothing in this world at this point until either the flow state goes away, or my interoceptive cues have finally yelled at me long enough, like, you need to do something. You need to do this, like, right now. And that's hard, and that's not working towards self-care, but sometimes that's just where my brain goes, and that's how it works. And I'm doing a lot better in accommodating that, like when excuse me, and at work I have snacks. Like I am the little gremlin that has the little snack pile, and all of them look like a toddler snack drawer, because I have little peanut butter cups, I have fruit snacks, I have crackers, I have
your applesauce pouches.
My applesauce pouches, but they're all sustainable. They're all they can be taken with me at any point in time. And then when the kids come over for Halloween or trick or treating, I have healthy options.
You're that house.
I am that house. Anyway, but I have found that those small accommodations, no matter how silly, have helped me make sure that I have enough fuel in my body to get through my day, and also to help regulate my emotions, help me not feel as tired. And I've just found these little things, but it's a joke. Like we were in a meeting the other night together, and I said, hold on, I have to get my toddler snacks. And I just literally ate my peanut butter and my applesauce packet during the meeting, because that's what I needed at that moment to make sure that I could attend to what was going on in that meeting.
Right. And I think that's the thing, is we have to attend to ourselves. Because if you don't attend to yourselves, your body is eventually going to do it for you.
Yes.
And by the time it does it for you, it's not going to be pretty.
Nor opportune.
It usually happens at the worst time. You're going to get sick. You're going to get your mood's going to shift. You're just going to experience a lot of negative side effects. And that, we're going into cold and flu season. We're going into the time of year where everybody's immune systems kind of take a hit already. And
the October slide.
Yeah. And so like now is the time to really to get into it. And this is where I talk to people too. Like we're at a point, we're getting into a point right now where now's an opportune time to be outside because the weather's a lot nicer. But we're eventually going to get to a point where it's cold and we're going to be spending time inside.
Yeah.
And so some of those self-care things that she likes to do that I like to do, which is spending time outside, they become very limited. Because I am not an Arctic snow person. Like, and last year Kansas was not kind. And so I don't prefer to spend a lot of time outside in the winter, and that messes with your brain, messes with your emotions. And so it's also about finding different things, getting creative with the self-care. But again, what I want to reiterate too is you have to make it a priority, because if you don't, your body's going to do it for you. And 9 times out of 10, you're down a lot longer than you would have been for the 5 minutes that you took to take care of yourself.
Yes. Yes. And sometimes, your self-care changes during winter. Maybe that's the time when you can do like a little bit more self-care because that's what you need. So maybe that is doing more bubble baths because that's an inside activity. Maybe that is trying a new hobby like cross stitch, or trying a new workout program that you've always wanted to try. Or
painting the inside of my house that my husband doesn't know we're going to do yet.
There we go. Yes, that is another one. Or construction, because that's always fun. So it just changes. It changes in the winter. Like I know in the winter, that's when I do more puzzles because I can't, I'm not as outside as much. That's just, something that I don't do during the summer and springtime and sometimes in the fall, but something that I don't do in other times is only in winter.
I mean, we're a big sports family, so we're constantly watching. Football's on in my house all the time. And then college basketball comes on. Go Jayhawks. Plug that in there.
Yay, sports ball.
Yay, sports ball.
That is my belief. Now, my partner, on the other hand, he is a major sports fan. So I do like to sit with him and, be with him when he watches sports and ask questions and stuff like that. But as for me having an affinity for any sort of team, yay, sports ball. Do the thing, score the point.
To be fair, you yell at the appropriate times.
Only because everybody else is yelling.
And there's always a lot of yelling with us, isn't there? There's a lot of yelling. Even our kids get into it. But I guess what we're really getting into is just making sure that you're taking care of yourself. And recognizing that even the smallest things are self-care. They don't have to be big things.
No.
I think sometimes the common misconception is if I do self-care, that means I have to go get a massage. I have to go shopping. I have to go get my nails done. I have to go on a trip. I have to go do all of A, B, C, D, whatever.
Yep.
That's not the case. No. Self-care is very feasible in your home, in your office, in your
car.
Self-care is also take a nap. Yep. You need to take a nap.
No, well, all those things can be self-care too, like massage and, things like that. All of those are great options as well. But that doesn't always have to be like, I have to do this. This is the only thing I do for self-care.
So I guess what we're trying to say is like, you're not locked into the big things.
Yes.
It's small everyday things too. And it can be things that are, like Kaylee mentioned, micro breaks. They can make a big difference. Self-care, one of the things that we want to talk about too is self-care is so important about taking care of yourself as far as your nutrition, attuning to your physical needs.
Just moving your body. Moving your body is one of the easiest things to do. And I mean, And that doesn't matter. Obviously, there are going to be certain people that have some restrictions or cannot move like other people. But that's all about accommodating where you're at in your journey and finding ways to where you still can have a little bit of movement if at all possible. For some people, that's just not the reality. And so it's finding other ways that they can take care of themselves.
Yes.
But for the most part, not for everyone, there is some sort of movement, even if it's just raising your arm a little bit. That's movement. You know, and maybe that's all some people can do, and that's fine. Again, you have to do what feels good with your body. And if you have certain, medical challenges, talking with your primary care provider about what is good movement for my body. What am I able to do? How can I, work with this?
Yeah.
But movement at any point is good, and it can be fun movement, it can be silly movement, it can be concerted movement, it can be following a workout routine or a workout video or joining an exercise class or anything like that. It's just if you find what works well for you, and if it doesn't work, don't spend a lot of time focusing on why can't I do it. It just doesn't work for you. End of statement. Done. Throw it away.
Self-care is not a one size fits all.
No.
And what's self-care for Kaylee is not necessarily self-care for me. We're two very different people with different interests, but the common theme is that she knows what works for her. I know what works for me. Just like we mentioned, like bubble baths, I like them. She doesn't. So it's figuring out and trying new things, because you're going to try some things. You're going to be like, I ain't doing that ever again.
Yep. And
that's fine. That's totally fine. So it's figuring out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But I think when you start making those small changes, when you start being more in tune with what you need to take care of yourself, and you start making the small adjustments, you're going to notice big changes.
Yes.
Big changes in your mood, big changes in your ability to function daily, big changes in your relationships with other people, because you're going to be more centered. And we talk about being centered, and like you're going to have a good balance. I said it in the last episode that your mind, like your mental health, is just important as your physical health. When you practice that self-care, you're going to have a better balance between your emotional health and your physical health, because we know we can't have one without the other. And if you can take care of yourself, if you can take care of your mind, if you can take care of your body, you're going to be functioning at an optimal level.
And it's all going to scaffold off each other. It's going to build off of each other too. The more you do it, the more that you're going to have that momentum, and you're going to see those longer term changes. It may not be at the very beginning. You may not see them instantaneously. That instant gratification may not occur, but sometimes you got to play the long game, and you have to continue to find things that you identify with, that you like to do, that are enjoyable for you. And just not continuing the ones that don't work well for you. Like, so for example, one thing that has never worked for me, that I have tried multiple times throughout my lifetime so far, is trying to work out in the morning. Does not work for me. I have tried and tried and tried for years, because that would be so great to just get it done in the morning, and then I can have the rest of my day to do stuff. Nope. If I work out in the morning, I want to go back to bed. That's just how my brain and my body works. And so morning workouts are not a thing for me. They are not feasible. And so I am the one that is at like 6 o'clock at night doing my workout, because that works well for me and my body. And I finally just stopped fighting and trying to make myself work out in the mornings. Now, a good portion of my other friends are able to work out in the mornings, and they like it, and it works well for them. It just does not work well for me. And I've just accepted it. That's just how my body and brain works.
You still get your workout in. You still take care of yourself. You just do it at a different time. But it's the time that works for you.
Yes.
And that's, time doesn't matter.
No.
As long as you're taking care of yourself.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us today on our episode of self-care. I know this won't be the only episode we talk about self-care, but we wanted to make sure to have a larger discussion about it. But we will talk about it throughout many more episodes. And so we are really excited, I guess I am excited about our next episode. It's going to be Halloween themed.
Oh, I'm super excited.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to be in costume.
You're not going to want to miss it.
It's going to be fun. You could guess. You could try to guess who we're going to be.
I will tell you that our costumes play off of one another.
Yes.
That is your only clue.
Yes. They play off of one another.
And
I think you'll be surprised who is who, maybe. I don't know.
Probably.
We'll see.
Probably.
We'll see.
If you know us as individuals, I think you will be surprised.
Yeah.
At who's going to be who.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
Okay.
But thank you guys for joining in. And
yep. Can't wait to see you for episode 5, our special Halloween episode. And we hope you guys have a great rest of your week and try to implement that self-care just a couple minutes a day. See if it makes a difference for you.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys.